Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of ERA at Chicagoland. Uh, we got us a 50% race tonight. With we got enough people in the lobby to hold up the rules for a 50%er. I think it's going to be a fun race. We have Chicago's a really underrated racetrack in this game. It's if you know how to work it, you can work the second line. You can work the bottom. It's a really fun racetrack. While I'm not up here by myself tonight, I got BS in the booth with the boss man, Mr. Patton. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. By the way, this is MRL, not ERA.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah,
oops,
yeah.
sorry.
No, you're fine. Originally, for everyone watching right now, BS was supposed to be the one that let us off right there. So I counted down as I usually do. I usually like put in the title, and I was like, okay, counting down in three, two, one, and basically give it like maybe like 4 more seconds. BS was supposed to lead us off, and after about 10 seconds of silence, I guess Nathan was just like, all right,
Uh,
cool.
there was a
Well,
long awkward pause there for a minute, so I was like, maybe BS didn't hear me. I'll go ahead and do it.
all right. Well, I mean, either way,
I'll be
gentlemen,
honest, I didn't hear what you said at all.
See?
wonderful coordination, guys. We are on it. But yes, Nathan, you are correct. This is Chicagoland, race number 3 of the MRL Light Series. And we are here for a treat. We have Baseball Kid already in chat. What's going on, man? Making his first start tonight. He is starting P9. Where am I at? Am I actually P11? Just making sure I should be. Or, well, P12 technically. So yeah, he is starting P9. Blakey T has pole. So we have as Nathan, what you started, or as you stated, we have enough drivers to make a 50%er. That's always fun. I love 50%ers, especially in Xfinity races, because the races almost feel like sprints in a certain way. Chicagoland, we have been here before. This is not a first for all of us. In fact, I think both of you guys have raced here in the past in this particular series, whether it be Sunday and Monday, respectively. You actually both represent both of those days back when we used to do that on Sundays and Mondays. But yes, take it away. What do you need to do in order to get around Chicagoland?
You need to not hit the apron first of all. It's very easy to make this that mistake going into the corners. They're shaped kind of weird, and then you have this curved backstretch, which really makes Chicagoland rather unique among the mile and a half. So, and also worth mentioning is this track is a lot tighter than a lot of the other mile and a halves we run around. So everybody's running a lot looser presets than they might at, say, Kansas or Texas or Charlotte, for example.
Nathan, anything you want to add to that? I mean,
uh,
Hunty is saying in the chat, why is this track so tight? I don't know. I want to hear your response to that.
I really can't tell you. It just is. There's a couple of guys in the field that I have my eyes on. One of them being Blakey T. I've raced Xfinity here one time that I can remember in a league race, and I got second to the guy who's on the pole, Mr.
Monday
Blakey.
Lights.
Yep, Mr. Blakey T. Him and I had a great battle all night, but he got the best of me, and now he's back and he is on the pole.
Yes, he actually made a mention of going and getting a championship. Now, I don't know if it's actually going to work or not for him because actually the championship battle, I should mention, is very tight right now. Yes, this is only the third race of the season. However, that doesn't mean and doesn't take away from the championship battle. We have two specific drivers that are gunning for each other. There is the person that's actually starting in actually across from each other in the same row. That is Tomboy, currently leading by 8 points over his competitor of WRX Mike. So these two drivers right here, starting P2 and P4, very tight points battle here. I should also mention that in regards to the relegation battle, with Baseball Kid making his first start of the season, we now officially have a relegation battle. And depending on where Baseball Kid finishes, this will either put him in the top 10 or put Story Square in the top 10. It all depends on where he finishes, so we'll have to see how that's going to shape on out here. But there is now a relegation battle going on, meaning we can make this season official. Congrats, guys. We did it, Reddit. So with that, we are actually. Could you guys invite me, please? I have not gotten that sweet invite. So we are going to go right now. We're going to unpause the timer, and yeah, this is going to be a fun race, guys. Now you two specifically are going to be starting both in the mid pack as well as well. Actually, we're starting right next to each other, P5 and P6. So have fun. Whoever doors each other into turn. Or hits the apron first is no longer an admin. So there we go. So feel free to aim for it if you want.
I'll I'll be sure to pinch him down in one real hard.
Well, there we go. Friendly banter.
I mean, you realize I can just turn right, right?
Hey, as long as you hit the apron first, that's all that matters.
Well, that is. I was actually half kidding when I said that. Chicagoland is actually one of those. And that was supposed to be a segue into what I was saying. Chicagoland is actually one of those tracks you do not want to hit the apron at all.
No, it bucks you hard.
Oh, it absolutely just ricochets you right off. Now, I don't know if you guys remember from the Heat 3 days, but it essentially would allow you down on the apron back in Heat 3, and then all of a sudden, you'd be spinning. So it is very high contrast. The huge physics changes from Heat 3 to Heat 4 is absolutely bananas. But nowadays, especially in turns 1 and 2, if you hit that apron even a slight amount, you are being rocked up into the middle lane, or maybe even, depending on how hard you hit it, into the wall.
Yep.
By the way, Nathan, you are robotic again, so I'm just going to let you know about that.
Sorry.
No, not a big deal, not a big deal. But yeah, no, we're in for a treat here, ladies and gentlemen. I have two of my friends with me, and we are about to go green. Blakey T is going to be on pole, leading that Mopowa train. The other competitor is actually going to be the 21 of Hunty. But actually, look at this number 20 that is starting in P3. We didn't mention him. Packers has been on a roll as of late. He has had multiple podiums in the races that he's been a part of, meaning in Challenger of last season, a double podium in Darlington, and then following it up at Indy at his own home track and cup. So that was back-to-back podiums for him. So that's got to have a little bit of confidence moving forward. But here, 100 laps is what we have on docket. Lap 1 is already complete. And I'll tell you what, like I said, that number 5 and number 11 are going to be ones to watch out for. However, no one, I feel, has been talking about Elite Precision. Elite Precision is definitely one of those drivers that almost needs no introduction. Very dominant, alongside Baronate, who, as we were talking in the pre-race, we have not seen make an appearance so far this season. And that, to me, is very bizarre. So dominant in sportsman, he has yet to make a showing here. But Elite Precision has, and he is in that P5 position. So, as we are now going to go single file, we should let's talk about strategy here, ladies and gentlemen. BS Nathan, what do you feel like is the strategy for today?
4 tire pit stops.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clean cut and dry. You get about 27 laps to a fuel run. It's 100 laps. I mean, it's 3 stops no matter how you dice it up, basically.
BS, anything?
I don't know if you heard me, but 4 tire stops.
By the way, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that's what I wanted to get at, but I apologize. There was a battle for 3 wide there going into turn 3. Tomboy was down low, Blakey T up high, but WRX Mike was pinched in the middle. Very veteran move and decided to back on out of that. But that is what the draft track. This is with, yes, Heat 4, Heat 5 does bring this into account a little bit. There are some draft tracks. Chicagoland is one of those, and you can see that in full effect right now. But look at how tight this entire pack is right here. Until we see some pit stops, these guys are going to be all together in the entire way. Now, essentially, we're going to be seeing a little bit of Daytona Talladega, but that is what I wanted to talk about in terms of the segue with pit stops. to see exactly when the strategy would come on out, because we have 27 laps of regular fuel. Essentially, when we come out of the pits, we exit with 27 laps of fuel. Now, normally we would split this up 25 into 50 and then 75, and then you're good. That's all well and good, but I wonder if that extra lap or two will make a difference or not. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
I did a practice race here. I mean, not really.
You think getting the short pitting and getting the track position will probably be the way to go?
Nah.
So what are you saying then?
Sorry, I may have misheard you. I'm too wide right now.
No, you're fine. Essentially, I don't know. Whenever I think of Chicagoland, it is very much your tires just absolutely fall off a cliff after a while. So I feel like getting short pitting is going to be the way to go. You want to make the most of your tires, almost like in real life Charlotte. We saw it in the Xfinity race. Getting those tires and just putting some blistering laps down. You don't want to fire off on old tires. So essentially, I feel like getting as many opportunities as you can to short pit, but you don't want to make sure you don't screw yourself over with strategy. That's going to be the big thing. So make sure that you hit your number and you hit it well. But yeah, so just to kind of give an update here, Blake T still has led every lap. There has not been an official lead change in terms of a new leader leading a lap. That's what we consider an official lead change. However, he does look strong here. Like our in-race supporters have said, he has won here before. He knows how to get it done. Now, one thing I'm very curious of is in terms of the big points, as the lead position just blasts the apron right there. That is definitely going to rock him out of the way. Now, he is still going to have the draft, and that's going to allow the zero to try to get on by a little bit of kind of pinching on down, but he does get on past. But yeah, one thing I'm definitely seeing here is you see how he's really arcing the corner, going into turns one, getting that wide arc. He makes a late apex. There is a little bit of an edge. I don't know if there's an official term for it or not. How the apron kind of juts on out a little bit. It's not a complete circle. It almost comes to a point in the dead center of 1 and 2. That is where you want to make your apex as late as possible, and you can see that right now. The 5 is now getting shuffled on out because he was not able to maintain as much of a draft. And look at that, he's going to be absolutely plastered along that top side, and there is almost like Martinsville, almost no way for him to get back in until he gets back into the dominant line in order to get that draft. He's going to try to clear himself on the 11, but the 11's still going to be there, and he has to give way. There is no way that he can actually move on down, but he can right behind the 11. And now, crucially, with that pass, that moves WRX Mike within 3 points of his championship rival. So I know we still have 5 more races after this to complete out the season, but there's still a lot to think about here in race number 3. How does the car feel, guys?
Still feeling pretty good on my end.
Tighter than my competition right now.
Okay. I'm sorry. My mind went somewhere else. So, never mind. I need to get my mind out of the gutter. Kind of like lightly salted with bleach, to kind of, in order to get that thought of what I was thinking out. But anyway, we have 2 packs forming. Not quite 2 packs, because there's still technically 1. But one thing I'm definitely seeing, though, is like the 54 of Baseball Kid, the 20 of Packers. The 20 of Packers has always been known to kind of save his stuff. He is definitely one of those that knows the long game. And don't get him wrong, he is a very capable league racer. He knows how to get it done. Just like that, he knows that by kind of launching it off of the turn, he's going to get 2 for the price of 1. Will he be able to clear the 5? No, he won't. but he will be on the outside. Very valiant move in order to get that done. But this high side is now rocking and rolling right now, trying to get that pass done. He does, getting that 5 now in his rearview mirror. That was 2 for the price of 1. Right there in that half lap. Now, there is a little bit of a conundrum happening right here for P2. Elite, no one wants to lead, essentially, is what I'm looking at. Everyone wants to, everyone wants to lead, no one wants to follow. So we're seeing that number 1 of Blakey T absolutely just pull on away. He's just like looking in his rearview mirror, hey, yeah, keep battling, guys, you know, have fun. But yeah, I'm very curious as to how this is going to turn out in terms of pit stops, which should be coming up here in the next 12 or so laps, as we see the 0 get kicked out of line right there. Not quite sure what happened there. 3 wide coming off of 2. That could have been bad, but excellent car control from these guys.
Nathan hit the wall and then I ran into him.
Oh, let's see.
I wouldn't necessarily say I hit the wall. Had a little help, but
Close enough.
we'll leave it at that.
Well, definitely, it's now a battle to make sure you guys don't lose the draft, because that will be hugely not beneficial at all. By the way, we have James Dillon in chat. In case you don't know, that is James Snow in the Discord. So welcome, man. He offered a little bit of insight as to why Chicagoland is so tight, and that is because of the progressive banking. And you are correct on that. Kansas is very much the same way. Kansas also has progressive banking. You know, it's a lower angle on the very bottom of the track, and it progressively gets steeper and steeper as you go on and up. So while you're down low, it's where it's almost not, it's not flat, but it's at a flatter degree. Yeah, the track is tighter. Whereas if you go up to the very tippy top, it is very light. Now, unfortunately, it's not like Kansas where we can just rip the top like we would in real life here. Unfortunately, this track is now a parking lot, so unfortunately we can't do this anymore. But yeah, as we all know, the top was the most dominant lane here. As Tomboy, we've seen him hits the apron. Definitely, like I said, in the pre-race, definitely a no-no. You don't want to do that. So now we see a now we are looking at the long run pace here. Those that are really super good on the long runs as opposed to the short runs. I am very curious as to who is going to dominate here. I'm seeing Packers start making his way to the front. The 98 as well. The 21 of Hunty is just kind of just sitting there. So I don't quite know where his pace is at yet, but Elite Precision has actually gapped himself from his brother there in from P3 in that number 11. So definitely showing that Elite Precision, of course, kind of showing his speed now, is definitely going to try to chase on down the 1. But we'll have to see how this is going to shake on out here. Lap traffic is going to be coming up here, and that's going to be of the 9 of Napier. So definitely we're going to have to see how this is going to roll on out. Now, I should also mention that despite there being 11 drivers in this field, 12 technically will be racing, and I say that with a loose broadcaster Clay. I should probably just get to the point. Has put last place points in. The first driver to do so, actually. So funny enough there, to put in last place points for this race. So he will be receiving 12th place points. Now, that is actually both a good and a bad thing. The caveat to last place points is it is up to the number of people driving. So, of course, the fewer the drivers that are racing, like say we have a lobby full of 6, you know, and you put in for last place points, that means you earn 7th place points. Whereas here, we have 11 drivers on track, and you will receive 12th place points. So, that's the caveat. Of course, I always say, you know, race if you can, even if you start and park, you know. I mean, that's still 11 place points is better than 12 place points, right? So we'll have to see how that shakes on out. Broadcaster Clay, though, still putting in points. He should be set to make it to Cup next season, which is his ultimate goal. He has said multiple times. The unluckiest man in MRL. Guys, do you have any comment on that? Oh my God.
It kind of is. I'm not gonna lie.
just absolute, just nothing can go right for this guy. Which I know, I know that if he was even a part of this broadcast, he would also say the same thing. 98's actually been making a pit stop right here. That means everyone else is gonna have to give way and kind of run a little bit lane up. So it's gonna have to see how that's gonna shake on in terms of everyone's driving style here. You see the 11 really have to choke on up, and that allows a 3-wide situation to happen. The 21 Hunty is going to try to follow him through, and he does. So because of that, where you position yourself on track, we have the bots! Yes! So the bots are here. I have not seen them, oh my god, in a few weeks. We have an official race, guys. Pack it up, go home.
Very nice.
Oh, the 20 of Packers almost just clapped the rear end of the 0 right there. That was a near miss. I think he may need a new racing suit after that. But that actually gives the lead to the 10. So that is now a point earned, or I guess 5 points earned for him. And now we see that this is coming down to stages right here. Looks like everyone is going to be coming down in 3 separate laps. Now we see PMR and Mo Powa come on down. So the 98 was first, and then we see like Agent Orange, Blakey T come on down. Now we see Baseball Kid, Hunty, and Elite, and now we have the 11 of Mike and the 20 of Packers are going to be coming on down. Now these guys are going to have the best tires for sure, but they're going to be the worst in track position. Now here is the first person to come on down right here, the 98 of BS. Oh no! Oh my goodness! And that is going to be maybe our first caution of the light season.
Nope.
Oh,
No! The 5 of Tomboy spun it off of turn 2 and collected the 98. So, okay, commentator's curse, BS. I am so sorry. I was on you as that was happening.
Yep.
So it looks like the 1 of Blakey T will safely be able to rejoin in front of the entire field. Now, this is very curious as to... I can only imagine this comes on down to how people entered pit road, because we see a mixed bag of people coming on down. Here is the 54 of Baseball Kid all the way down, all the way up, I should say, in the P5, whereas he was down in P9 to enter this. So he gained 4
P7.
Oh, P7, I apologize. And here is the rest of the pack coming on down. Here is the 11 of WRX Mike, as well as the 20 of Packers exiting the pits. And now they are going to be coming up hot and heavy. Well, okay, sorry. I was talking about provisionally as of all that, but now we can see that WRX Mike is now going to be in P5. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. My bad. So I'm actually very curious as to where Tomboy exits out at. It looks like he will be in P9 and well out of the draft. So that's very unfortunate for him as we see this. But Blakey T now has a very comfortable lead. I don't know about him in Chicagoland, but these two just click together.
fastest kid alive.
The fastest kid alive. Speaking of the fastest kid alive, let's talk about Carson Hocevar.
Man, I was really rooting for him last night.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about that?
I think I understand both sides of that. I mean, Carson's going for his first win, and Priest is racing for his life basically.
BS, what do you think?
I'm out of the loop what happened.
Oh, did you watch the truck race about what happened with Carson Hocevar and Ryan Priest?
No.
Okay, so to kind of give you a Reader's Digest version, essentially what happened is Carson Hocevar was dominating the race, absolutely just clapping them cheeks. And then a late race caution came out with like 5 to go or something like that. Goes to overtime, and they're firing off on super old tires. I want to say like 45-year-old tires. Lap old. You know what I meant. Lap old tires. Like, they're firing off super old. And it's Carson Hocevar versus Ryan Preece. And of course, Ryan Preece is on a part-time ride, just essentially trying to earn his way back into a full-time seat. Carson is running for points. He's looking for his first win. So overtime. Carson starts on the bottom, Preece up top. Turns 1 and 2, super aggressive, pinches Carson Hocevar, pinches Preece into the outside wall into turn 2. They both kind of clap each other a little bit. Chastain actually pushes Hocevar into turn 3, and Hocevar does not lift at all. And these are super old tires. There's no grip at all. So Preece is ripping the top, and Hocevar just comes on in and claps the side of Preece, puts them both in the wall. Hocevar spins. And Preece has a flat tire because of it. So they both have to pit to repair and change out tires. Hocevar is out of this race. Preece is no longer in the running. And afterwards, they interview both parties. And Hocevar, of course, very emotional. He's just like, yeah, no, this was my shot. You know, like something always happens. You know, and the commentators, which was not Phil Parsons, Michael Waltrip, Vince Welch, and Kurt Busch were just like, yeah, we have to, like, oh, yeah, we know exactly where he's coming from. The dude's going for his first win, and he had to feel bad. And then they cut to Ryan Preece in his interview. He's just like, yeah, for anyone wanting to get into NASCAR, don't do that. Like, that was the worst thing that you could have done. I'm out here racing for my life, and here you have a spoiled silver spoon kid, who buys his ride, thinking that he can run with the big boys, and essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but it was literally a tale of two races, and I don't know. I think I'm on the fence of, I think Hocevar was way too aggressive. I mean, definitely, especially on that many lap-old tires, he definitely could have waited, or better yet, started on the top, because he had choice. He had priority of start on top or bottom. So I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. Like, it's hindsight's 2020, and in those kind of situations, like, I mean, he's making decisions and fractions of a second. It's easy to Monday morning, couch coach, but
oh yeah, in the moment, it's
yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
And I was actually I have the scan. I pay for the NASCAR app so I can listen to the scanners.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on Hocevar's, and as soon as he crashed, he was just like, "Why? Like, what do I have to do to win one of these things?"
It's a dog-eat-dog world. I mean,
yeah.
Like, I know here we are, we're sitting on our chair, our beanbag, our steering wheel, playing virtual NASCAR. We get emotional sometimes, I'm not comparing ourselves to real life NASCAR. We get emotional, like, we get put into the wall, of course, it's just like we get angry, or, we get our first win. Oh, it feels so good. But just imagine that, but in real life, and times it by 10. And that is essentially what Hocevar was getting at. But I also get Ryan Preece's side as well, where he was coming from, and saying essentially, oh, I mean, like, yeah, like, I get, like, that you're going for your first win, but, like, you got it. That's not how you approach it. That is not how you do that. Like, you could have done anything else, and you would have accomplished a better goal, or sorry, a better end goal than basically getting spun.
Yeah. I saw people giving Ryan Preece some grief, and it's kind of like, well, he just got put in the wall for a win, and then, like, the first thing that happens when he gets out of the car is y'all shove a microphone in his face. What do y'all expect him to say?
Yeah, literal hot mic. Yeah, I get it. But no, like, I understand. Both had their raw emotions out, so, like, you can't fault one or the other for what they did, especially in 2020. Hindsight's 2020 is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's just one of those things. But no, yes, sorry, go ahead.
Hunty, Elite, and I have knocked off a second of Blakey T's lead here.
Yes, I was actually about to comment on the tale of two races right now. So as we were talking about with Ryan Priest, again, I feel like I'm getting better at segues, guys. The tale of two races with Carson Hostbar and Ryan Priest. We have our in-race reporters. Well, unfortunately, BS, that was not your own fault. Tomboy spun. You were just unfortunately right there. But we have Agent Orange, one of our reporters here, closing on down the gap to P1. And BS, you are doing a great job by yourself, mind you. They're in P7. I apologize, I was hiccuping.
Yep, well, so let's see where it goes from here.
Well, of course, we still have 2 more stops left after this, so there's still plenty of time for you to close on some ground here. I am curious, though, what lap are we on?
44. We're almost halfway.
There we go. Almost halfway home, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as we were talking about the truck race yesterday, the 9, it looks like he's going to be pitting on down this time, so there we go. As we were talking about the truck race, I feel like the Xfinity race today was phenomenal. If that's an indication on how the Cup race is going to go tomorrow, it's going to be a good one.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Dakota and I, some of y'all may know Dakota from previous seasons. Him and I are leaving about 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow and headed up to Charlotte.
Ooh, well, there you go. I mean, well, of course, you only live like a couple hours away. So, like,
it's about 5 hours, yeah.
Yeah, I get a few hours away, let me rephrase. But still, having a, living within, I shouldn't say spitting distance, driving distance of local tracks is a lot better than me, where I only have Michigan, Mid-Ohio, and, I guess technically Indy. Which, by the way, tomorrow, the greatest day in racing, breakfast in Monaco. As of this race, by the way, I should mention, it is May 28th.
Oh,
tomorrow.
Honey hit the glitch.
It finally happened. He hit the glitch. Now, you guys know, you two both know, BS actually did not believe me that there is a glitch off of turn 4. It's there. It's very real. Looks like he is now spitting loose right now. He is very much trying to hold on right now. But yeah, no, it is very real. In fact, we're along Hunty, and it's right there. You can see him almost get loose again. He didn't hit it that time, but that's where it is. I swear, I hit that every single time. It's not even fair. It's not even funny how many times I hit it. But yes, so that was a development right there. Tomorrow, the greatest day in racing. Breakfast in Monaco, lunch at Indy, and dinner in Charlotte. We missed it last year. They were actually... Monaco was... I think they were on all 3 separate dates, I think, right?
I honestly can't remember.
I know Monaco didn't... Monaco for sure was on a different date. I know that. I don't know. I can't remember if the Indy 500 was on the same day as the 600 or not. I wish I could remember. But I'm just glad that it's all back on one day now. It's the greatest day in racing, man. But of course, we got to add our own. We have while we have dinner in Charlotte, we have a midnight snack. Let's just say, at Watkins Glen, because the lights competitors will also be there tomorrow, so they will be competing for their own shots at a win. Watkins Glen is going to be a lot of fun there. Super fun track. I just did a race myself at Watkins Glen. It's been a while since I've been there, so it's nice to see that back in action. The 0 and the 21 both pit this time. I'm assuming it's lap 50.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aha. In fact, actually, a lot of people come on down. The 90 and the 54 also sharing those right there. So 4 of the... Oh, make that 6 of the 11 racers are all coming down this time. So a lot of these guys are going to be getting the jump on the rest of their competition. Now, I know the rest of everyone else, like Blinky T and Elite Position, they're on their own game strat right now. They both are running by themselves. They are staying on out, so that is going to hurt their lap times, of course, because they're not going to have the fresher tires. They're not going to be able to make as much time, but they will have it in the longer run. Looks like Keith, yep, there we go. He's going to be exiting his box here soon. Blakey T, I think, is coming down this time. We'll have to see. Yes, he is. Now, is Elite going to be coming on down this time? Yes, he is, and it looks like he gained a crap ton of time closing in on his competitor right there. I want to say about a good half a second, and now that just comes on down to how aggressive you want to enter pit road as the 20 now takes the lead. He is in a whole different zip code compared to the 11. So, again, Packers showing that he has long-run strat, long-run pace, being able to gap himself from the 11. Now, as we do approach the halfway mark, it is hard for me to do the full race rundown, but we will wait for that as soon as pit stops complete here. But I want to see who's going to enter or exit pits here between the 10 and the 1. Looks like the 1 had a much slower stop, and these two are going to be exiting almost at the same time. Very, very close in terms of these two. Now, here comes the 0 that should actually get the lead, if not be side by side with the 1, exiting off of 2. Very, very close right there. The 1 being very respectful, and actually, there we go. That's it. New leader, the 0. Now, you're not earning points, but it's just one of those things. The 21 is actually going to be trying to close the gap here. In fact, what he's going to be hoping for is that the 1 actually battles the 0. And same thing with the 10, is that the longer they battle, the more he can actually gain. So there we go. Now that everyone's kind of shaken on out, we have the 0 right here in the lead. The 1 of Blakey T P2. The 10 of Elite Precision there in P3. Hunty there in P4. Looks like P5 is going to be BS. Nice. Well, so far. As
I'm P7.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
Packers.
I was getting to that. Because I keep forgetting about these two. These two are now, they will be shuffled on down to P5 P6 and 7 right here. Because now, here we go. The 20 coming off of pit road, the 98 coming on up. We'll get a little bit of drafty draft. Try to get there. Coming into turn 3, maybe. Oh, side by side. But that is P4 and P5 right here. Or, sorry, P5 and P6, I should say. The 20 has it, and the 98 wants it. And the 11 gets shuffled back to P8 with the 54 there in P7. So, Baseball Kid P7, Mike P8. P9 will belong to Tomboy. P10 belongs to Keith. P11, the 9 of Napier. So, very interesting strats here now. The 1 and the 10 was actually... Well, I feel like the distance between that was at least a second and a half. But as you can see, there is no gap anymore. So, that was all about execution on pit road. And who knows, maybe the 1 of Blakey T had a 16-4 stop. It's hard to tell from just looking at it right here. But, I mean, who knows? Pit stops could have been absolutely crucial in terms of what the game tells you that you're going to get here. So I'm actually very curious as to how this is going to shake on out. The 11 trying to make the pass here on the 54, Baseball Kid. Now getting on pass, or sorry, getting passed by the 11. So that's going to be for P7. And as it's running, I should say, I need to double check this. Hang on. Hold the phone right here. So Tomboy right here is in P9, okay? So let's take a gander at this. P9 earns 138 points. Oh my stars!
New leader 10.
The 10 of Elite. Oh my stars. The way that these drivers will exit this race, if WRX Mike and Tomboy finish where they are at right now, there will be a tie for the championship lead. Because to my knowledge, unless you guys know, did WRX Mike lead a lap?
Not yet.
I think he did because he stayed out longer than everybody else before he came to pit road.
Or was that Packers?
First time.
I know Packers led a lap, but I mean...
11 did on the first stop. I saw him as the leader coming around.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
First second.
Then WX Mike will have a 5-point gap over over his competition right there in Tomboy. So that is something we have to monitor a little bit.
Battle for the
Tomboy,
lead.
yeah, I was just about to say that.
All right.
You're actually loving this right here. The more they battle, the more they use up their tires. Meaning, while you pit earlier, meaning that you get the shorter run car, you're actually able to stay along with them right there. So these two are going to be duking it on out. Because keep in mind, we still have one more stop to go. And if I'm counting my laps correctly, it's what, lap 62?
61.
Damn it!
One off.
Damn it!
I'm gonna start asking you before I tell you. You want to change it one way or one number in one direction?
Oh man. The 54
I
baseball
mean, there's
kid.
a 50% chance it would be 2 laps off instead of 1.
Looks like the 54 baseball kid will probably call it a night right here. Yep, there he goes. Nope. Well, he's actually just practicing pit stops right here. Yeah, he has now. Well, actually, no, that's crucial because that's a spot for the 5 of Tomboy. So,
1 point.
exiting championship implications, literally. Because now, if these two finish where they're at right now, then that means WRX Mike will have a 1 point gap over his competition. So that is very crucial for his title fight right there. Now, of course, Tomboy has gone on record saying that he doesn't actually expect to win the championship. But we'll have to see how that's going to work on out. The 54, yep, has indeed called it a night. But, you know, I mean, just one of those things. You know, you still earn points there, bud. I mean, you are... So he will be finishing P11, meaning he will earn 130 points. Meaning that he will actually be the 11th place car. So despite Story Square not actually showing up for the race, he will still hold the relegation spot by 4 points over Baseball Kid. Because Baseball Kid is indeed racing for a way back into Cup here. So the plot thickens. The plot thickens. Anywho, so let's see. Let's have something to talk about here. So yeah, there's Tomboy. WRX Mike is gone, by the way. He is absolutely just checked on out. And BS, you have checked on out from the 98 from him right there.
Yeah, I'm just watching Packers drive away with his fresher tires. But Hunty's kind of coming to me a little bit.
Now, I wonder on that. That is very curious. So I'm actually very curious on that. I wonder if Hunty is starting to save his stuff. I wonder if he's streaming. Give me one hot second. He is. Let's get a little update and see what he's looking at right here. So it looks like he is really saving his stuff. He is running a second and a 1.1 seconds off of his best lap. Make that 0.8 off of his best lap right now with 34 laps to go here. I'm actually very curious as to what his end goal is. I wonder if he's trying to extend this stint a little bit to try to get the fresher tires in the end. I don't know. I feel like at this point, since you already went into, basically go the shortstop strategy, you're pitting on lap 75. But, I mean, to each their own. I mean, everyone has differing agendas here. Like, the 1 and the 10 have been pitting on the same lap as each other. So, we'll have to see how that's going to work on now in comparison to the 1. Or, sorry, the 0. But those two have been swapping positions ever since they've been close to each other. The 1 and the 10 have, I'm not saying every other lap, but pretty close to it, been just absolutely just taking the spot. No one wants to follow, like I said, but you know, that's what competition does. So only one DNF so far. That is the 54 baseball kid. The 6 of Keith doing exactly what he needs to do in order to get to the Cup Series next season. He is just logging those laps. He's going to have a very comfortable P9 finish out of this. And when his first start being last Sunday at Phoenix, like I said, doing exactly what he needs to do. 31 laps are left in this race right here. Currently, it's a 3-horse race. Now, watch that this excellent race will be spoiled by a speeding penalty. Oh,
Hush.
I don't know.
Hush.
I'm just saying. We saw spoiler alert for the Xfinity race. Did you guys see the Xfinity race, by the way?
Oh yeah.
No.
Do you care about what happens?
I mean, you could say it. I don't care. Go
Okay.
for it.
Josh Berry and Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier is my guy. So when I learned he had a flat, and it was a duke it on out. Like Josh Berry and Allgaier was like 10 seconds in front of everyone. It was bonkers. They were literally the 2 best cars in the field by a country mile. There's only 6 cars that finished on the lead lap at the end of the race. And Josh Berry ended up winning because Justin Allgaier had a flat tire. I'm just like, what does this guy need to do?
Yeah.
Not have a flat
Crazy how
tire.
crazy how dominant JRM was today for never winning at Charlotte before.
Yeah, and at one point, all 4 of their cars was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
That's the real bananas part. Is that Sam Mayer, who, being a rookie, did a fantastic job. He ended up finishing P3, I think.
I think P4.
P4, top 5.
It's somewhere around there. No, it was 3 because Noah Gragson got 4th.
Yeah, he ended up coming back after what he thought was going to be a cylinder. He lost a cylinder, but he didn't. 9 coming off pit road right there. Speaking of the 9, actually, there he goes. I'm actually very curious as to how they did a stat on that. JRM has won 4 of the last 5 Xfinity races, and have won 10 consecutive. Well, actually now 11.
The one just lagged.
The one just lagged. Oh yeah, I do see a little bit of spikeage right there. Nothing too crazy, of course. That could just be like a little broadwidth error, a little desync. But it looks like the 10 is trying to. What a crossover by that! The 1 made the move going to turn 3, and the 10 makes it back coming off of turn 4. These 2 are definitely ones to watch here coming into the final stop. Now, it's going to be curious. I feel like that's the word of the day today, is curious. How these guys are going to come on out. I'm actually looking to see who's going to pull the trigger first. Because, yes, they will get the short run, but the draft will come on back to these guys, and it will be absolutely bananas here to see how these are going to come on out. The 5 is going to be pitting this time, looks like that. Did you speed?
No.
Okay. That sounded like a speed. I was just like, that sounded like a speed. Like I just sped right there.
No, that was me trying not to rat gang on the pit road.
Oh, dude, same. You guys know me. I'm awful with getting on pit road. Like, if I was actually running this series, Hunty has called it a race. Hold the phone.
Wait, hold up. He just pitted with me.
Hunty has just called it a night. I wonder if he sped on pit road. And it's just like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with it.
Understandable. Have a great day.
Well, as they say, that's a spot.
Well, it was literally a spot for me because I pulled into him coming down pit road, and then so I guess I get P5 now.
Well, actually, crucially, that's going to be a spot for both WRX Mike and Tomboy. So I feel like I'm just beating this dead horse to death. But I could have said that better. There had to have been a better way to say that. But The 10 is actually going to be the differing strategy here. No, the 1. Oh my goodness! The 1 with a hyper aggressive move going on the pit lane just zooms around the 10 to get onto it. I don't know if he actually sped or not. That looked very close. I'm going to be actually keeping it up on Blakey T right here to see if he was actually able to slow it on down enough. But yeah, the 21 of Hunty has left, and that gives a position to WRX Mike as well as Tomboy. So now there is only going to be one position of separation, and if I do believe, that may actually still be Tomboy to finish this race as the championship leader. We'll have to see on this. I'll have to confirm. But the one of Blakey T did not speed. In fact, these two are going to be side by side coming out of the pits. And the one is going to have... Oh, but he had to check on up. He had to check on up going on out of the pits right there. And the 10 is going to be able to zoom on around. And then there we have the 0 basically rejoining the fight, but the 9 is going to be in the way. He's shifted from the top side down to the low side, and this is going to be very... Oh, not what he wants to... From the Blakey T right here, it's going to be 3 wide coming into turn 1. The 9 is going to have to hold low, and the 10 is going to be able to scoot around, and that could have been bad. But now the race is on here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the battle for the race win here. The 20 of Packers comes on out of pit lane right here, just in front of the 98. So that is P4 and P5, meaning WRX Mike is going to be P6. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
And that means Tomboy is going to be P7.
P7.
All right, so that is the difference between that is 4 points. Yes, I am correct. Well, baseball kid, you know, that's just racing sometimes, you know. It's just unlucky, you're just wrong place at the wrong time. But yeah, that is going to be 1 point difference between the championship contenders here. WRX Mike and Tomboy in Tomboy's favor. 1 point if they finish this race right now. Because Tomboy, I don't think, led a lap.
Not yet.
And at this point, I don't think it's going to...
I'm just saying, like, anything can happen.
Oh, yeah, I mean, anything can happen, but will it? I mean...
If it can, it will at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who Murphy is and when he wrote this law, but, you know, it's just just one of those things. So, here is the thing that I want to talk about. Hunty basically also coming on in, saying, you're not about these physics? Dude, I know. Heat 5, man, Heat 5. But this is... I know there's other battles on track right now. There's Packers and BS right now, or there was, I should say. But this battle for the lead is going to be... It's actually an insane battle between these two veterans. They have raced each other before in other leagues, but just knowing the limits of that, they have just been crossing each other over... And the 0 has just been the third wheel. Look at that. The little bit of the side draft trying to choke the 10 on down. The 1 is going to have to basically just back it on out, knowing that he's not going to be able to get the position right here. Or so you think. Never mind. I guess screw it. I just don't know how to race, apparently. So, Nathan, put me in your head right here. What's happening?
You want me to be honest?
Sure.
I'm trying to push the 1 enough to stay side by side with the 10 and keep them racing.
Oh, a little bit of contact right there. Well, I think these guys are just doing it naturally, because the way that they just keep crossing each other over. Like here, watch. The 1 will get a run on the 10, and we'll make a move here, coming out of turn 2. He's going to get the draft. He let off early in order to get the run here on the exit. The 10 goes super deep, and the 1's going to make the move here. Going to look to the inside. See, look at that. See, almost like I predicted. And then the 10 with a mean block right there. He has the lead, and he has no intention of giving it up at this point. So this is going to be an insane... Will we see a will we see a side-by-side photo finish like we saw a 3 wide at Pocono and Kansas? Will we go with a three-peat? We'll have to see.
How would that be a three-peat? Those weren't consecutive.
No, hush. But actually, gentlemen, could you let me know on what lap it is?
87.
I just took 13 to go.
Okay, so lap 88. Got it. All right, so 13 to go here. Now this is where the money is being made right here, both literally and figuratively. No, we're not printing money. FBI, don't at me. But we are looking at. You're setting yourself up essentially. So as we heard from the 0, ooh, the 10, going all the way down to the grass. Look at how aggressive that 1 is right there, pushing him all the way down. Hey, you know what? That's clean racing right there. There was no contact at all. And I'm sure the 10 is just like, dude, just let me go. But this is a fantastic battle going on right here. These two drivers are not giving an inch at all. And and the 0 is just like, dude, just waiting for the contact to happen. Just waiting for the contact to happen. But coming to 11 to go right here. This is, or is that 12 to go? Is that 89 or is that 90?
90.
It's 12 to go.
That's 11.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 11. I've got my lap count up and it's on lap 90.
Aha! So it is lap 90. Okay. So, okay, either way, no matter how we slice this pie, unless Nathan wins, Agent Orange wins, there will be a new winner in the Light Series. We've had 3 different winners in our 2 races completed so far. We have seen a race 1 winner at Daytona, which is the 0 right here, being pushed by his teammate of Cade, who I don't know when his second start's going to be, but hopefully it's soon. Those two work well together. Can't wait to see him in Cup. And then we also have Phoenix. Phoenix was also a race that not a lot of people raced at, but it was actually very fun to watch because that was actually won by WRX Mike. And that was actually what allowed him to get the strategy. Pugzilla saying, can't wait for the Final Four in ERA. Well, oh man, I'll tell you what, you are definitely could be a part of this as well, because this is a huge battle right here. So be looking at some of your competition right here, because there's 2 drivers that are in that field that are in these top 3 positions right here. But yeah, so unless, ooh, but the 1 looks like a Blakey T actually hit the apron right there. No harm, no foul. Just looks like he didn't lose the draft. You know, a slight mistake, a slight oversight. He tried to arc it a little bit too much, and that's what we've been seeing Blakey T do. He's been arcing the corner, but obviously that was a little too much. He kind of pushed the envelope right there. Who's P1 and P2? Elite Precision and Blakey T with the 0 of Agent Orange right here in P3. Again, I also want to point on out here, that 20 car is getting bigger. I think he's going to run out of laps, but that 20 of Packers is actually reaching these guys at a rate of knots. The more they battle, the more they go side by side, there is a potential, especially if they get a little contact happy, that 20 actually closing the gap a little bit. 5 to go.
6.
Damn it! Always 1 off. Like, why? Can I just need to, like, subtract or just add 1 to what I originally want to say. So, Blakey T moving to the lead right here. Now, this is going to be the chess match right here. We're going to 5 to go. Now all bets are off. If you thought the racing was intense now, oh, that was just a precursor. Now, the 10 is going to want to get behind the 0, and he's going to make them... Oh, okay, yeah, he's going to make the move right there. You ideally want to be on the bottom, especially going into turn 1 because of how the arc is. It have a wider arc of going from the tri-oval going into turn 1 than you do from the backstretch going into turn 3. It's just a wider angle. It allows for passing to make it. Oh, a little bit of contact between the 10 and the 1. Kind of bumps them out of the way. Coming to 4 to go. These two are now going to be... Okay, now we're getting a little bit of contact. Oh, the 10 actually gets doored by the 1 a little bit, saying, hey, I didn't appreciate that. Going into turn 3 right there. Going into 1. The 1's going to kind of... still give plenty of room, so a tip of the hat to him. Very clean amongst these two. With 4 to go, all bets are off. But again, that 20 car is getting closer and closer. The more that these guys battle, I think he's going to run out of laps. But that 20 is definitely something to look out for if these guys get a little bit too contact happy. 3 to go this time by. The 1 now being put side by side. You want to be P2 on the final lap. So if I'm the one at Blake T, I'm just waiting. I would wait. Why run the risk of being the leader here when you can just not? So we'll have to see how that philosophy is gonna work out here. The 1's gonna give a little bit of the bumper. Or the 10's going to kind of slam the door on the 1 right there, and that's going to allow the 1 to get the run here going into turn 1, and 2 to go here. He's going to really arc it like he has been doing to try to close the gap. 10 plus 1 plus 0 is 11. Link to Strange Things. Oh man, Hunty, this is why we keep you around. You're funny. But the 1 of Blakey T is now going to have to make the move here at some way, shape, or form. What an exit on turn 4 right there. It is now going to be on the final lap here. And if I'm the 10 of lead position, I'm blocking like my life depends on it, because it may as well depend on it a little bit. Oh, the bumper being put, but they both hit the apron right there. The 1 is going to force his way on down. The 1 versus the 10, a little bit of contact. Oh, but the 10 of elite precision goes and slaps the 0 out of the way. Oh my goodness. But going into turn 4, the 1 hits the apron, but he blocks the 10 going out of turn 4, and coming through the trial, the 1 will take the victory. Oh my goodness. And Nathan, did you still get P3 there?
Yeah.
He did.
Oh my goodness, what a finale to that race. Told you that 20 car was getting closer.
Me and Packers were both closing in on them at the end there once our tires equaled out.
Oh my goodness. This is exactly why I love no stage racing, because all of that was produced organically. There was no fabrication with the stages. There was no late race yellow. That was all organic. Just the top 3 drivers getting it done, with 2 drivers and P4 and P5 closing it down to provide a little extra incentive to, hey, you know what, we should probably keep this show on the road. But P1 with Blakey T, P2 Elite Precision. I'm actually curious as to what the Discord is saying right now, because that was a huge battle. We'll have to see. No, actually, it's just Broadcaster Clay saying if anyone's... I expected more, honestly. So yeah, let's lead position with the fast lap with a 30.511. A full 10th faster than Blakey T there in P2. Whew. Oh, I need to catch my breath after that. I need a... What's my resting heart rate right now?
Mine is 118 right now.
You were just going. You were going, were you? That got your blood pumping.
Yeah, in multiple ways.
Oh, no, I mean, understandably so. So let's get our other 2 drivers in here. We already have one of the top 3. In terms of our other 2, well, while we do that, BS. I mean, how did the car feel overall?
I think along with Packers, I think we had the best long run cars, but we were just too far back to really get up there and compete with the top 3 there. I think top 3 were in general better on the shorter runs than we were, for sure.
Well, it also didn't help when Unfortunately, you get collected in the spin by Tomboy, which no real fault. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But still, I mean, yeah, as you were saying, you guys were actually closing in on those guys. Provide a little, hey, let's get the show on the road here. But yeah, no, BS, you did a great job. Thank you so much for being our in-race, or one of our in-race reporters tonight. And now let's go to our other in-race reporter. And I mean, Nathan, we've been hearing from you all night, but take us through what happened there in the final few laps.
I'd been kind of just hanging behind these guys, just saving my tires, setting myself up for a real late surge. Coming the last lap, I felt like I'd put myself in very good position. They started beating and banging in 1 and 2. I started to get up underneath them, and then the 10 just doored me out of nowhere and sent me half a mile down into the infield. But thought I had a shot at that one, but P3 is fine.
Well, I mean, this was your second start of the season, and your last start because with you being a Cup driver, you are allotted 2 races to go, and you used one at Daytona, and then your second one here at Chicagoland. I don't know about you, but I feel like 2 podiums and two starts is actually a pretty good record.
It's pretty good. Could have been better.
Oh, well, there we go. And I think we're going to leave it at that then. Nathan, excellent job. Thank you again for being one of our in-race reporters, and congrats on the P3.
Always a pleasure.
So let's go to Ross Chastain here. Elite, let's just talk about. I mean, I'm going to lump you in with Blakey T here. Now, I know we'll get to both of you individually here, but you two just swapping positions. That was an excellent barn burner of a performance. Elite, take us through the final. Much like I was asking Nathan, take us through your final laps right there, because I was saying the entire time you do not want to be the leader, being on the last lap. But I'll just let you explain it.
Uh, yeah, I was just trying to do everything I could to hold them off. The car wanted to be stupid all night. Didn't know what adjustments to make because it was tight and loose at the same time. If that makes any sense, but yeah, it seemed like whatever lane Blakey took, Agent took. So I was pretty much being tag team and was really trying to do what I can to hold them off and got loose on the come off of two, and that's how I ran to Agent. So I was trying to side drive, well, not side drive. I was trying to stay in touch and door them. So yeah, that was frustrating.
Well, I mean, I'll just say right now, like I said, it was a fantastic race to watch. I mean, the final half of that race was you two just going blow to blow. Just seemed like crossing each other, but it was clean. And I would have to say probably just getting loose there on the final lap. It was the final lap of the race, I mean, it was bound to happen sooner or later. But going that long, being as clean as you both were, that was fantastic.
Yeah, you can see my car, like I was loose off of two, like later on in the run. So yeah, that like I was tight on entry and then loose off. So that was part of the frustration all night. Didn't know what to do with the car.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, if we could do it over again, maybe we'll have a different result. But yeah, Elite. Like I said, strong performance from you, and I'll definitely have to say that. Well, I mean, we'll have to see what you guys can do in the future, especially if we have more races like that. So, Elite, excellent job there in the podium. Your brother's actually congratulating you in the YouTube comments. So, hey, there we go. PMR,
Appreciate it.
yeah. Let's see. What was he saying? Top three, elite. Still a good day. So yeah, there you go. So let's go over to Blakey T. Let's go to Michael Annette. That's not a name I've heard in a while. Blakey, you made your first race in Phoenix back with us. Had a strong result there, a podium to add to your name, and now you elevate yourself up one step into P1. Now you heard from Elite's side of your blow to blow battle with him. What was it like from your perspective?
The whole time in my head, I was rethinking the Gordon and Larson kind of. I'm not going to give up. I don't think he's going to give up. Eventually, one of us is just going to get away, and I think I had a mishap happen a few times. I think I hit the apron at least once. Can everybody hear me? Make sure everybody can hear me.
Oh no, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, okay. But yeah, and then I seen him hit the apron on that last in turn one on the last lap, and I was like, I got to strike now. If I don't get it now, then I'm not gonna win. So um, that was all. And then I got too excited and ended up hitting the apron, coming to 3 and 4, and I was like, well, there goes. My joy went from it was a roller coaster of emotions. So. Um, but we held on to it, so it was fun. I wasn't going to try. I think I doored him a few times, but at the same time, I thought he was going to stay low. He didn't. It was just like I said, we're not communicating during the race, so it's kind of hard to figure out what they're going to do. So, um, but I had fun. I was having fun the whole time, just trying to figure out where I can make my moves, and I was obviously arcing my corners a lot to help with my corner off and my exits. So it worked out.
Oh, and that's exactly what I wanted to say. I noticed that you took a not quite a polar opposite line than what he did. He almost charged the corner, was very took a basically a slower apex, a slower and or middle, and you backed it off early to get a faster exit. Did you think that maybe was part of the reason why you were able to get the victory here?
Yeah, I feel like with my experience in this track, I love this track. I know what works and what doesn't for the most part, and these Xfinity cars are just they're not as dialed in as a Cup car would be. They're a little bit tighter, so I kind of just had to try this and hope that it would work. But it did for the most part. That's the one thing I try to do is I analyze where I'm. If I, if I'm in a race and I'm doing terrible, I just have to reevaluate what I'm doing. And I seen that it worked all night, doing my arc. So I just kept at it.
Oh,
So
one thing I totally wanted to ask is actually for both you and Elite. So tag team question here. I noticed that Elite really charged the pit entry for the second to last stop, and then the exact opposite. You, Blakey T, charged going around town to go onto the entry of pit road. I mean, like that was first of all, how did you guys not speed both times?
well, first time I just in the second pit stop I just played it safe, and that's how I managed to catch up on that one. And then I just said, you know what, I got nothing else. I mean, I could lose the race or whatever, I could speed, but um, I just said, you know what, I'm gonna try something different, and it worked out. I mean, I think the pit road speed's 45. I think I came in at like 47, so it worked out. I mean, I didn't get a speeding penalty, but yeah, that was I was scared, but I did it and I was happy, so I can't complain.
Yeah,
So
I thought he sped on that last stop.
And you were just like
I
race
thought he
one. All
did.
right, cool, easy.
Yeah, I thought for a sec, I was like, man, he kind of carried a lot of speed into the right there. I kind of went conservative on that last pit stop because I don't know what's been going on lately. I've been speeding a lot. That's what took me out of the Atlanta race and Challenger. So I didn't want to push the issue, so I kind of played it safe, come on the pit road in that last stop. But that second to last stop, I did kind of push the issue 'cause I was trying to make up time on him because he had like a what second. He
mhm,
had like a
like
far distance.
1.5.
Yeah. So I was trying to do everything I could to just maximize, you know, pit road entry right there.
I think you
Well,
just gotta take a gamble at stuff like this. I've learned, I'm more conservative with pit stops, but I got brave and did this and it worked out. I'm not saying it's gonna work out next time, but I got brave this time and it worked out. So we'll just have to keep experimenting.
So yeah, we have a excellent battle on our hands here. That was probably one of the best races in Late's history. So excellent job, you guys. You guys just knocked it out of the park. And if I'm doing my points correctly, I do believe WRX Mike finished P6 and then Tomboy P7. And if I'm doing my points correctly, that is a 1 point gap with Tomboy still as our championship leader and WRX Mike in P2. So just to kind of give it a little update on that, 1 point up on the top tables here. But I mean, you guys are definitely putting on a heck of a show here in Lights, and we'll have to see who's gonna. Well, I know it's during the 600, but we still have a race tomorrow at Watkins Glen. Maybe go 2 for 2. We'll have to see. But yeah, Watkins Glen tomorrow. Guys, any final thoughts before we close on out for the night?
Um, I enjoyed racing Blake. It was fun. Like I was enjoying myself. I'm just frustrated that I barely, from my screen, it didn't look like I hit the apron, but it's been doing that all night. My car would like bobble, even though it didn't look like I hit the apron, but I did, I guess, and that's what kind of opened the door. But yeah, it was fun racing between me and him though.
Yeah, we were playing some mind games there at the end. I was I was trying to get him to hit the apron so hard. I was just trying to get on his back bumper, trying to hit the apron, and I think there was one time I got a great run going in 3 or 4. And I think he slew up a little bit, and I hit his back bumper. I was like, it's just a mind game track. You gotta figure these things out while you're driving. But yeah, we're gonna go to Watkins Glen, another strong track of mine. So I can't wait. I think part of the schedule is great for me. I can't wait.
Well, we'll have to see what you can do for Mo Powell because I should also mention that team points are going to be looking pretty strong with this. I can't say for certain about where everyone's in right now because we use averages in order to get points there, but we'll have to see tomorrow. So with that, good night, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming on out. Blakey T is our winner. Elite Precision P2, Agent Orange there in P3, and both him and BS as our in-race supporters. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.